Here we go. He's got demons and we all will deal with them in mysterious ways as the brand new RCW Carnage Champion Sinister making his way out here. Now the title isn't black, it's red. You just can't see it because of the lighting in the game. I promise you. But that title looks really good around his waist. He won it in a Falls Count Anywhere match. A schoolboy roll-up backstage. Didn't even celebrate in the ring because he won it backstage, and it doesn't matter to him. Because now he has his first title in RCW, and that is huge for him. It's always huge when you're able to win your very first title in a promotion. And here at RCW, we like to treat all the titles with the same prestige. Obviously, the world title being a huge part of it. You know, but we like to treat all of our titles the same way as if they all were world titles. And this is very exciting for Sinister going forward. As we have Aleister Black coming out here, making his entrance. Now, Aleister Black has had title opportunities in the past, and this is his biggest one yet, going up against the RCW Carnage Champion. So, you know, he hasn't come through in a while. I believe he was tag team champions with Finn Balor, with the Demon Finn Balor, Black Hole, and then they decided to focus on their singles careers here as Aleister Black, the root of all evil, makes his way to the ring here. And now Sinister looking to start that one off by taking Aleister Black down. Now Aleister Black gets thrown into that corner. Face first there. Oh, wow, what knees to the face there. From Sinister here. Now Sinister with the Irish whip into the ropes here. Now that I've gotten a little bit of wrestling commentary back underneath my belt here, no pun intended, that kind of means that, well, you know, it'll be a lot easier for me now because I was away for a while. I took a little bit of a break between for RCW for the specifics of, you know, getting the Series X and wanting to transfer all the data over and making sure that everything transferred well, because I wanted to go with the best possible hardware here and make sure that everything was running well before I continued RCW. So that is why, you know, you didn't see RCW for quite some time, and plus I was writing some of the storylines for the episodes, but now that that's done and over with, we are back, and that's the most important thing here. It's a lawn dart right into the second turnbuckle here from Sinister. An Irish whip into that turnbuckle there. Oh, big slap to the face here from Aleister. Aleister tried for the clothesline in the corner and got a throat full of rope there. Irish whip to the corner, goes Young Sin in there, or Sinister, excuse me. And Aleister Black now. Aleister Black trying for the pop-up knee strike. Sinister reversing that, taking that away from him. And what a power bomb there from Sinister. Like I said, none of the Outlaws in sight here. And it makes me wonder how long is Sinister going to hold on to this title now, knowing that it's his first title here? One. As Aleister rolls out to the apron, deciding to take a little bit of a breather. Aleister now. Aleister firing back with the right hand and a DDT to Sinister. 1. No, Sinister kicked out at 1 as well. After that DDT. Now Aleister Black lifting up the RCW Carnage Champion. And now going right back to the ropes. Getting a little payback from earlier as Sin rolls out to the outside here. Aleister taking a little bit of too much time as a German suplex to Aleister Black. And he took a little bit too much time there. And what a knee! Knocking the daylights out of Aleister Black in a count of 1. Sinister proving that he is a dominant threat here for the RCW men's division, the RCW Carnage division. Now looking for the heads in bed. Heads in bed here on Aleister Black. Going for the cover right after 1, 2, and Aleister Black again with the kick out. And Sin can't believe that. Darby Allin, surprisingly, didn't last as long as I thought he would. Oh! Aleister Black taking down Sinister, but yeah, Darby Allin, I was in complete shock. But Sinister did a great job wearing him down, and even though he won in possibly what some people would argue the cheapest way possible with a schoolboy roll-up, like, you can't fault that, really. Like, you know, it wasn't illegal. He didn't do anything that was, you know, against the rules of said match. You know, it was a false count anywhere, no disqualifications, no countouts, so, you know, he didn't do anything that would be considered against the rules. So, you know, you got to give it to Sinister, and also, you know, it's not. And as I say that, Aleister Black with a black mass. The black mass. 1, 2, and Sinister kicked out again. Wow, he kicked out of the black mass. Not many people kick out of that. Now Aleister going up top, though. Aleister going up top. Oh, with the Meteora. Tried for the clothesline, but an STO takes down Aleister Black, and now I am very surprised that Sinister had kicked out of the black mass, as not many people do. Oh, he's now looking to turn this around into the Sinister switch here, busting Aleister Black wide open. 1, 2, and Aleister Black kicked out at 2.5. Aleister Black kicked out at 2.5 here, and we are still going. Even more knees to the face here, and then going again for the pin. 1, 2, and Aleister again with the kick out. Irish whip now. Oh, running over. Aleister Black here. He's got him dazed. Now Sinister with a couple of clotheslines. Now with a kick right to the face. Trying to go for the pin again. 1, 2, and Aleister again with the kick out. Very interesting here from Sinister. Oh, heads in bed again. And now going for another pin here. We are seeing so many covers here. And Aleister Black is still fighting. He's telling everybody to shush. And the Sinister neckbreaker. 1, 2, and Aleister again with the kick out at 2.5. Aleister Kemp is not stopping here. Sinister can't believe it. And I'm going for the splash, but Aleister got the knees up. Aleister had gotten the knees up. Now with a strike to the side of the leg there. Irish whip into the ropes. Aleister tried for the stomp, but missed. And I think Sinister's momentum just knocked him right over. And that's going to leave him open for the bicycle knee strike. And that, I believe, busted him wide open, and he's got 2, and Sinister kicks out. Now Aleister's gonna go for that Black Mass one more time. 1, 2, and Sinister again with the kick out. My God. Going for the pin again. 1, 2, and Sinister one more time with another kick out. Oh my. This is ridiculous. Aleister Black constantly going for those pins. He went for 3 consecutive pins, and I don't know how wise that was, because now that's just momentum for Sin as he's pulling back here. Another right hand. Aleister into the ropes here. Ducks under. Sinister coming back with that lariat, turning Aleister inside out. Now he's going for the pin again. 1, 2, and Aleister with the kick out. This has been a cover fest here. Oh, a right hand here. He's going to get him with the heads in bed. Now he's going to possibly get him here with a neck breaker. The Sinister neck breaker. 1, 2, 3, and finally Sinister gets the victory over Aleister Black. What a match. What a match here. As Sinister now can check that win in the column as his first win as RCW Carnage Champion here. As we move on to our next match, folks. As now we have Sky Outlaw versus Ember Moon here for this next one. Now, Sky Outlaw has had her own issues with Rosemary, Whitney White, pretty much everybody. And I would like to say, before we get on to this next match here, we have quite the promotion here for Sky. Now, I will show you guys the exchange that Sky had with myself, as now she is the head of talent relations, meaning that she helps me sign some of the talent. I needed help signing some talent here, and now she's gonna try and get TJ Punk here in RCW, so that's gonna be very, very exciting. She is huge here. For us now, trusting her with that role is a big deal, and I will show you guys the exchange in just a few moments here as we get Sky Outlaw and Ember Moon with Luna Outlaw accompanying her to ringside. Here we go. is the RCW Women's Champion here. The Outlaw family coming out here. At least part of the Outlaw family anyway. And here's the texting exchange here. I think we'll pop it up once, obviously, the video gets edited down. But now she is the talented... She is the head of talent relations, excuse me. And this is going to be huge. This is huge for the Outlaw family. Because not only is she a wrestler, but she's also an executive. Now, I had made it clear to her that, you know, just because she's an executive doesn't mean that she can do whatever the hell that she wants. She's the head of talent relations. So, really all she's doing is scouting talent for RCW. And you know, we might see some, I guess, contract hopefuls, to say the least. So she'll be working alongside with me here as Ember Moon comes out. To sign some new hopefuls to a contract. The Sky now with a drop kick to the knees of Ember Moon as Luna looks on. And that is pretty big here for Sky. Head of talent relations. Never thought I'd hear myself say that, but you know, sometimes you need a little bit of help around here, and you know, booking the matches is not the easiest thing in the world, so it's a chick kick here to Ember Moon, and she thought I wasn't serious when I offered her the job. Like, she thought I was totally kidding when I offered her the job, but I'm not. I'm really serious here. You know, that's a big, you know, that's a big deal, you know, to get offered a job while you're still a performer in the company. All I hope is that she doesn't take advantage of that power. As Ember Moon here, looking for a suplex from the top here, and she's got it. The Sky is down for the time being here. Count of one. And a kick out here is Sky still in this. Still very much in this matchup as it is early on. As Ember Moon continues to hammer away. She lets out that yell here. Signature Ember Moon, and a clothesline to the outside to Sky. And now Sky finds herself in a little bit of trouble here as Ember Moon ascends to the top. And now Ember Moon crashed and burned there as I think she was trying to go for double knees on the outside or something like that, and she ended up falling on concrete as Sky's taking advantage. Sky taking advantage, oh, but Ember Moon with the reversal. Oh, right into the table goes Sky here, or at least one of our tables. Count of 5 under RCW rules. We have a count out of 20 here. And now Sky going for Sky's the limit driver, and she hits it right away as they both get back in the ring. 1, 2, and Ember Moon with a kick out. And mind you, Luna has yet to get involved in this as she's going after her with a various amount of punches right to the face. The sassiness from Sky definitely coming out here. Sky is the new head of talent relations. You know, but I made it clear, like I said, I want her to focus on her as a performer Not necessarily as her as a executive. Because sometimes when you're both, that can get in the way there. Irish whip into the ropes now. Oh, what a punch. She popped her up midair, though. She's going up top here. Going up top for the elbow drop. 1, 2, and Ember Moon with the kick out. Luna has really yet to get involved. There's a standing moonsault there from Sky. I love Sky's new gear as well. I don't know if that was much part of the promotion. Maybe she got that with her extra money of the promotion here, but nonetheless, she's killing it here as Sky's the limit driver again. 1, 2, and another kick out from Ember Moon. Like I said, her being talent of relations really is not going to have much of an effect on her career. All it is she's going to help me with contracts. Nothing more than that. She's going to help me with contracts, help me get people signed to RCW, help me get people here. But absolutely nothing more than what she's got now is Sky now looking for something dangerous here as she props up Ember Moon on the top rope here. Double knees to the midsection. One, 2, and Ember Moon again. My God, Ember Moon is fighting. She's fighting back. Not going down without a fight. Tried for the drop kick in the corner. No. I think Sky took an awkward split. As now Sky is down here. Sky trying to recuperate in the corner. Oh, but Ember Moon firing back here. Ember Moon firing back with those quick strikes. Ember Moon with an Irish whip and a drop kick right there, right back. The momentum from the ropes carried Sky right into that drop kick. And the forearm in the corner. And like I said, Luna was gonna possibly be a factor in this. And there she is. The RCW Women's Champion, the sister helping her other sister out. You know, that's what the Outlaws do. They help each other out no matter how devious it may be. As Sky's looking to use the ropes. 1, 2, and Ember Moon with a kick out. Using the ropes as an advantage, but it's not going to help her out here. Couple of kicks to the face. Oh, tried for the comeback, but Ember canceled that out. Pushing her away now. Oh, tried again for the clothesline. No. And this time, she's finally got it. A kick right to the side of the head. Now Sky's looking to do something dangerous here. But she's gonna let Ember Moon. She's waiting for her to turn around. Oh, I thought she was gonna go for something there, but I guess thought against it. She hesitated way too much as Ember Moon having that ability to lift her up. Oh! Now a couple of knees right to the face again. And now clothesline to the outside now. Oh, but Ember Moon got back up. Ember Moon got back up. Luckily, she got back into the ring. And now Luna again. distracting Ember Moon. Luna's doing it at the right time, too. Oh, but Ember continues to fight back. Crucifix, though, trying to catch Ember Moon off guard. 1, 2, and a kick out. Trying to go after that midsection. You can't breathe. You can't do any moves. Very wise there. Look at the turn her around. Lifting her up again for the sky's the limit driver, but this time she decides to not go for the pin. She's in perfect position here for the skyfall from the top. Check out this replay here. Very ironically, she ends up in the perfect position after the sky's the limit driver to hit Skyfall. 1, 2, 3, and Sky wins. But not without the help of her sister Luna. There was a couple times where Luna got involved with that in that match. But it appears that Sky isn't done yet as she's grabbing the chair and going right after Ember Moon with that chair as the referee says stop. Now the referee gets hit. A referee has just been hit with the chair. Go to sleep. And Sky is definitely proud of herself after that one. And just when I say she's gotten promoted, she goes ahead and does this. Oh man, this is totally questionable here. This is for sure very, very questionable for Sky as we move on to our next matchup, folks. As we have a tag team matchup, it is the RCW Tag Team Champions, the Click, versus the Young Bucks in Nick and Matt Jackson. Now these guys, the Young Bucks anyway, are looking for a win after losing to the debuting Ultimo Dragons, but however, they proved their worth in that match going up against tag team champions like that. Or former tag team champions, I should say. And now the Young Bucks have a huge opportunity going up against the newly crowned tag team champions. This is real big for them. So we will find out if the Young Bucks can actually get a win here, as the Click and the Young Bucks are a few moments away. And here they are. The Click. The RCW Tag Team Champions, as you see those titles around their waists. They don't have Princess out here with them. They said that they wanted this to be fair here. between the Young Bucks and the Clique, as the Clique are ready for their matchup here. With the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. Now I actually got them to come out together because I put them as a tag team now, so they actually are coming out the way that they're supposed to. As a Willie starting off this match. Oh, but an Irish whip here to Willie. Nick Jackson is a little dazed here. Oh, what a monstrous clothesline from Willie. Irish whip. Now a couple of shoulder tackles in the corner there. Now Willie taking Nick Jackson over to his corner. And a stalling suplex right back into the ring as Lenny has to get out of the way there. And it appears that Nick Jackson had him dead to rights, and again he's gonna get him, gonna throw him over the ropes, and again with that stalling suplex. I think he was trying to just get him in the corner. He finally does this time. But that double team doesn't work, as that allows Nick to get back in a quick reversal. And now Nick finds himself again in trouble. And again fighting back against the double team. As now Willie is in trouble here, but too much distance to cover. Way too much distance to cover here. As Nick Jackson desperately needs to make a tag, but Willie's going to prevent that from happening. And just as I say that, he gets the hot tag to Matt Jackson, and Matt Jackson gets picked up by Willie and slammed right back down. And now Lenny making the tag. Oh, he fell right into that uppercut, but a no-sell drop kick from Matt Jackson missed as Lenny sidestepped him out of the way. Irish whip into the ropes here. Tried for something, but Matt Jackson has other plans. Tried for a super kick. Stopped it the first time. And was able to connect with it. As Nick Jackson going to his corner. Reversal there. As Lenny coming back here with that spinning heel kick. Now looking for a double team. They couldn't hit this on Nick Jackson, but now they're looking to do it now. The shake and bake here. What a double team. Oh, what a punch. What a great punch there. Matt Jackson, though, fighting back. Matt Jackson again with the European uppercut. But Willie grabbing the foot and just sending Matt Jackson down with that clothesline, lifting him up again. Into the ropes he goes. With Matt Jackson fighting back with an elbow. And tried to knock over Willie, but that's not going to happen, but a Canadian destroyer. And now Matt looking to tune up the band. Sweet chin music. One. And Lenny took out the ref. Very wise there as Nick Jackson gets taken out. As now that may have pumped up Willie. That may have pumped up Willie. Willie now coming back. Back body drop. And now Willie with a spine buster. Tagging in Lenny. And I have no idea why Willie decided to help up Nick Jackson, but nonetheless, that happened. Oh, Matt Jackson now throwing Lenny to the outside. And now a DDT through the ropes, a tilt-a-whirl DDT through the ropes here. And the crowd chants, "This is awesome, this is awesome," and I have to agree with them here, as this is an insane tag match. The Young Bucks definitely proven something here. Maybe last week was just a, or last episode was just a bad match for them, or like a bad day for them. I don't know. Double axe handle from the second rope. As Willie is a little tired. Willie was a little tired there after Matt. Now double team again. Looking for that shake and bake here. Clothesline. Ducks under that. What a double team again from the Click. Putting a stop to that hot tag. And oh my God. My God, this is insane. Now possibly looking to finish. He might be looking to finish this, but no. They're doing something else here. The Stampede in the corner. The Stampede in the corner to Matt Jackson. As Matt Jackson has nowhere to go, Nick Jackson is just going to have to watch this happen. And launching Lenny right into Matt, excuse me. Going for the pin, one. Referee gets taken out again. But Willie, my God, launching Nick Jackson. Oh, that gave enough time for Matt Jackson to fight back, but no. Referee still down. Now, Lenny dropping Matt as he's busted open. Referee is finally getting himself back in here. And now looking for another shake and bake. I think that's what I'm going to call this here, shake and bake. As Matt Jackson and the Young Bucks are just getting mauled here by the Click. But Matt Jackson taking down Willie. Going up top here. Matt with a moonsault. He got it off. The moonsault. One. No. Willie kicked out at one. But here comes Matt. Again with a super kick right to the face of Willie this time. Oh, a huge suck it from Matt. As I think Matt was going to go for the sweet chin music again. Oh. And Willie almost got the win there for his team. almost got the win here for his team. It's an Irish whip into the corner now, trying for the double team. Matt Jackson getting out of that. Standing switch. Sending him into his corner. I don't know how good this is. Oh! Super kick right to the midsection. Oh, is he doing it again? He might be. Looking for the moonsault, but no, not this time. Not this time, says Willie. But an Irish whip. Now Nick and Matt are looking for the more bang for your buck. Maybe not, just a super kick. I thought they might have been going for the more bang for your buck, but I guess not. It looked like it. As Nick looked to go after Willie, but oh, a pop-up knee right into the corner led into a clothesline. Irish whip. And now it may be this. They're looking for it. More bang for your buck. And again, Matt Jackson following it up with another moonsault that he couldn't connect with the last time. 1, 2, 3, and the Young Bucks are victorious, and they just beat the tag team champions. Wow. What a tag match. But what does this mean for the Ultimo Dragons? Because they beat the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks just beat the tag team champions, so this could mean a triple threat tag match. Who knows? But we got to move on, as our next match is just moments away. Because now we have Jon Moxley versus Shinsuke Nakamura. There we go. Here we go. Jon Moxley and Shinsuke Nakamura. Here he comes. Mox. This man is scary, let me tell you. Jon Moxley, the innovator of violence. Unscripted violence, that is. Jon Moxley. As he makes his way through the crowd here. With that Mox spray paint on the back of his jacket here. Mox is ready for Shinsuke Nakamura. Because now it is Shinsuke Nakamura making his way to the ring here. Now Nakamura is somebody that you have to be wary of. He has quick striking ability, but Jon Moxley is a whole different ball game here. He is not your normal average man here is Moxley with a monstrous clothesline to start this one off here on Shinsuke. Huge shot. Huge shot there to Moxley. Oh, Shinsuke looked for something dangerous there, but Moxley had that one sniffed out as Moxley propping up Shinsuke now. Looking for an Irish whip. Irish whip into the ropes. Mox with a spine buster. And again, Mox is not going to stop here. And that's good. You got to keep going against somebody like Shinsuke. Shinsuke can come back at any time. And Mox knows that. And Shinsuke with a knee right to the midsection. And just as I say that, I just said about Shinsuke coming back as he lands the Michinoku driver and a kick to the back. And another knee there, but right to the face. A knee drop right to the face here as he lifts up Mox. Now another knee. And an axe kick to the back. Chopping the back. Chopping the innovator of violence down here. He's now pulling that arm. Wow, that shoulder. That shoulder. And if you think that's going to get Moxley down, and obviously you don't know Mox, as Mox with the Dragon Screw leg whip. Yeah, Season 9, King Cobra. It's Season 9, yeah. We just had the premiere episode last time. So if you want to go ahead and watch that, that's in the VODs. It's also on my YouTube channel. If you enter the command YT in chat, the bot will give you a link to the YouTubes. Because the VODs disappear after a while, so... But on YouTube, they're always there. I do that purposely so that people have a chance to watch some of the stuff. Also, plenty of other amazing content goes over there on my YouTube channel. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. We are at 85 right now. Who was your character? I can't remember at the top of my head. Because it's been a while since I've done this. I was waiting for the Series X to come over. So that's why, you know, we waited so long for Season 9. Was because I was waiting for the Series X to pop over and writing some storylines and stuff like that and everything else. Amber White, that was the character you wanted me to make, right? Since you have, I think you have PC, I think. If I remember correctly. Alright, so with Amber White, I will have some free time. I just have been recording a lot of stuff lately, so I will definitely have some free time to get into the creations. I've just been doing a lot of stuff for friends and stuff, because I've been helping them out with their e-feds and helping out with some other projects that my friends wanted me to be a part of, so... And I was waiting for the Series X to come over and all that, and I've been kind of busy with everything going on, so I'll make sure to get to that whenever I can, but I promise you, whenever I can get to it and whenever I get it done, I guarantee Amber will be a really big part of RCW going forward. As a low blow to Jon Moxley, and just like that, Jon Moxley wins via disqualification. Shinsuke had enough. What a shame is that, because, you know, it's Jon Moxley and Shinsuke Nakamura main event material, and that it's pretty much exited out because Shinsuke had enough. The referee had to call it. And unfortunately, Jon Moxley wins via disqualification. As we move on to our main event, folks. The main event. And it's going to be a good one. As we have Ricochet, the newly crowned RCW World Champion, facing off against Chris Danger. Now, Ricochet had beaten Brian Outlaw at our last pay-per-view. And that's definitely hard for Brian Outlaw to let go of that title. It was really hard for him to let go of that, but he was happy to let go of it to Ricochet because, to be honest, Ricochet has been screwed over so many times, not by me, by other people. With Ricochet winning the men's lottery case, having it taken from him from Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens cashing it in, unofficially declaring himself as the RCW World Champion. Then we had to strip him of the title, and then we had a title match, and Ricochet proved that he was the better man that night. So Ricochet, now being the RCW World Champion, will take on Chris Danger. Non-title contest here, but a lot of implications, as anything can happen here on RCW, and if Chris Danger were to get a victory, he might find himself in a title match in the future. So we'll see how this plays out as Chris Danger takes on Ricochet. Again, I just want to see her debut and her first title win, and then I'm satisfied. Well, you will see her debut, one way or the other, and her first title win whenever that time comes. But trust me, I like to give everyone's superstars equal opportunity here on RCW. I like to change things up a bit. I like to try things that I've never tried before. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this show as long as I have been. If I couldn't find ways to change it up and to spice it up a bit, because obviously you got to keep things. Not only do I have to keep you guys entertained, but I have to keep myself entertained. And I feel like that's one of the hardest things to do as a content creator, is you find yourself getting burnt out doing the same old stuff over and over and over again. And, some may see RCW as that, like, as the same old stuff, but to me, it's the creative aspect of it. It's the storylines, it's the character development, and I feel like the Outlaws are the main reason why RCW continued. We started off with Brian Outlaw, then we created Jason, then we had Sky, then we had Luna, and then obviously Jack is part of it too as well. So, this was something that was that turned into something that I never thought it would. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, it's like you never think that something is gonna turn out the way it does when it does, until it does. It's like, if we were able to predict the future and our future careers and everything else, like, life would just be boring. And I know that sounds kind of cliche as a DDT from the apron here onto Chris Danger here, but if we were able to predict our futures and stuff like that, and it's like Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. And I know that's kind of cliche, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and that's why I said that, but, it's one of those things where you kind of just have to take a chance and see what happens. And if you were to tell me that I would be creating all these stories, not just in wrestling games, but outside of that, with the Cyberpunk crossover with Sky Outlaw and all the other YouTube stuff, and the backstory of Sky Outlaw, which I will get back to that as soon as possible, and and the backstory of Luna Outlaw as well. Like, if you were to tell me that that was going to be like a major thing, something that was going to happen, all these stories coming out, and the universe being as in depth as it is, I would have told you you're nuts. You know, I personally didn't think that I had the ability to, you know, make such a universe such as this. And now it is turned into something huge here as Ricochet is looking to do something dangerous here. I hate the look in his eye, and Chris Danger with a toupee suicida right to Chris Danger, right onto that metal barricade. You saw the back of Chris Danger go right into that barricade, and it's going to continue to go right into it as Ricochet, the RCW World Champion, is taking it to Chris Danger here right now. And a power bomb here. What an interesting power bomb combination there. Now looking for the downward spiral here. On to Chris Danger. And drop kick sending Ricochet down here. Now working on the arm of Ricochet is Chris Danger. As Chris Danger tries desperately to come back here in this match. An arm drag here. Now Chris Danger has had his issues with the Outlaws, and I can guarantee you they're watching very, very closely from the back. And in case you weren't here when I announced this, we have a new head of talent relations. Sky Outlaw is the new head of talent relations. I had spoken with her the previous night, and Sky Outlaw now is the head of talent relations. She will now be helping me sign new talent to RCW, trying to sign TJ Punk, one of my good friends, to the roster. So that should be interesting for her. I trust her with that job. Like I said, that's as a performer, I told her to, you know, focus on that, being a performer rather than the executive stuff, and that is why I didn't give her that much of a big of a role. I didn't want her abusing her power as a Phoenix Splash here. One, and a kick out here from Chris Danger, but, you know, I didn't want her letting that all go to her head, because she's that kind of type of person, as the Outlaws sometimes get a little bit overzealous and things like that, and they kind of let things go to their head. As a TKO here from Ricochet, and so that is huge for Sky, having her first executive role here, being here on RCW for a couple of years, and now another kick to the face of Chris Danger. And Chris Danger in a world of hurt right now, and a kick to the midsection as both men backing away from each other. Oh, a super kick right to the face. And now Chris Danger taking advantage. How would you feel if a custom character of yours came to life and you were actually able to interact with them? That would be weird. I honestly wouldn't know how I would feel about that. I kind of see them as a reality, because, like, you know, when you kind of have that inner voice in your mind, like that kind of like inner conscience or what have you. That's how I kind of view the Outlaws, as this like kind of like inner conscience, like, okay, you're gonna be okay, dude, like, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be alright, that kind of thing. And so I already kind of view them in that sort of way. But if it was actually like IRL, like if I actually, you know, if Sky was an actual real person, or if Luna was a real person, or if Brian was a real person, honestly, I would kind of be a little bit freaked out. Not because of like, wow, holy crap, like one of my creations, you know, is a real person or is a real thing, but just the fact that, you know, it's kind of like Ready Player One, where they put themselves in the video game and stuff like that. Like, that kind of stuff would freak the living hell out of me if that was actually if that was actually possible. But a little bit of a backstory here is that as the match continues here, like, when creating those characters, except for Brian, obviously, because Brian's kind of, a little bit based on me and my attitude and my outlook on life and that kind of thing. I actually based Sky on these group of girls that I knew in high school. And you kind of, when you're in high school and in middle school, you have, these things called cliques, and you have, the popular kids, the in crowd, if you will, the popular girls, or the girls that no guy ever looks at, and then they're the girls that are, like, overly attractive and every guy wants to be with, but they have really shitty personalities and that kind of thing. So I kind of took that. I've kind of took the sense of the popular girl, or all the girls that I hated in high school. And I didn't hate them because they were like a pain in the butt to be around, but I hated them because of their mindset. And, like, if you just have a shitty mindset, like, to me, you got something that you need to work yourself out. And I'm not saying that you are a shitty human being for having a shitty mindset, because I don't like to judge people. But I judge people by the way they treat other people. That kind of thing. I don't like to judge people based on, their upbringing or things like that. But, I've heard a lot of people make the excuse that, I lived a shitty childhood, so I have the right to be a shitty person, or whatever, and you don't. So, in retrospect, like, that's how I kind of came up with, Sky, and Jason was actually based on, based on one of my friends, because one of my friends, he was kind of the good kid, whereas his brother was the bad kid. And his brother, because he had his same last name, he was kind of guilty by association, meaning that everybody kind of thought that he was a bad kid too. And yeah, he did some bad stuff in the past, but to me, he wasn't nearly as bad as what his brother did. And so Jason was kind of like, the story of him was he kind of always wanted to be as good as Brian was. And the same thing with Luna. Luna wanted to be as attractive or as good as Sky is. And that's why throughout RCW you saw them face off in matches for the championship and things like that, kind of to prove, hey, I'm better than you. Not necessarily as like a sibling rivalry, but more or less as, all that competitiveness. Because I feel like as siblings, if you guys have any siblings, there always is that competitive nature between siblings, between brothers and sisters and things like that. So, it's just one of those things that I thought of, that I thought would make, a good story, and creating these characters, specifically the Outlaws. This was a way for me to share my life story without, like, coming out and saying, this is mine. Like, there was a lot of people, like, when I was first telling people about it, like, my mother and everybody else, they were really shocked by it, in terms of, like, not in terms of the fact that I could do it, but in terms of the fact of what I put into the Outlaws and what I've been able to create with them. And how I've been able to tell a life story, and how I've been able to help other people with, the Outlaws, because that was a main goal of mine. Was I wanted to use the Outlaws as a way to help out other people, and to make people feel better, and to make people feel like they're not the only ones. And when I came up, with the name, I just thought, of today's society, where people try to label you, they try to put you in a box. But when you're an outlaw, you don't care about the rules, you break laws. And I feel like society as a whole tries to put on these standards, I'm using air quotes here, standards, or they try and say, oh, this is how you should act, or this is how you should be, or whatever, and when in all reality, we're all human beings, and yes, there is a way that you should be, in the sense, like, you shouldn't be a racist, you shouldn't be, you know, a horrible person, you shouldn't be a homophobic, like, horrible person, or transphobic person, or whatever, and I think we can all agree with that, but you also, you know, shouldn't label people. Like, you shouldn't judge people based on, you know, something like their political views, or by one thing, you know, because we all have different beliefs, and all of those beliefs make us who we are, but we are more than just our religious beliefs, more than just our political views, more than just our, you know, hobbies or things like that. And so, you know, the whole idea of, you know, being an outlaw is you be your own person. You know, you embrace yourself as an individual. You be that individual. You be the best you that you can be, and don't be sorry about it. You know, and that's kind of how I, you know, because I feel like a lot of people, they just apologize to people because somebody's opinion is different from theirs, so they get crucified because of their opinion. And it's like, we can all have an opinion, but there's a time and place to say those opinions. Sometimes we should keep our opinions to ourselves, and sometimes people don't know how to do that. So, you know, that's another thing, you know. And, you know, there are some things that I feel like need to be said sometimes. And I feel like with the Outlaws, that's what they do. They say what needs to be said, and they say nothing more than that. So, this Ricochet definitely proven his worth here as an RCW World Champion against Chris Danger here. But yeah, that's kind of where, you know, the Outlaws kind of came from. And I would honestly be freaked out if I ever got to meet them in real life. If they were actually like a real character, or a real person. As a kick out here at 2.5 here from Chris Danger. Chris Danger is still hanging on. It's now Ricochet going up top here. Ricochet going up top for that Phoenix Splash again. 1, 2, and a kick out again from Chris Danger. But now Ricochet going over to the other corner here, and now again going for that splash one more time. Trying to dish out as much punishment as he can here against Chris Danger, and a downward spiral again. Now making his way up to the top as he's going to land the 630 senton. With authority here on Chris Danger. Check out this replay. Perfect form there. As the blood continues to pour. 1, 2, and Chris Danger somehow got the shoulder up. And Ricochet gingerly going up top. One more time with another 630. One, 2, 3, and Ricochet is victorious here against Chris Danger. His first win as the brand new RCW Carnage Champion. Or World Champion, excuse me. The Carnage Champion is Sinister. His first win as RCW World Champion, Ricochet. And I expect his reign to be a great one. Especially with how much he's been through up to this point. As Ricochet wins this match here, his very first, as RCW World Champion. So thank you guys for joining me for another episode of RCW. It has been fabulous I cannot believe we are in Season 9 of this show, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the stream. It is absolutely ridiculous that we are this far. I never would have thought that this would be something that would be a big thing in terms of, what it has turned into. And it is pretty crazy. And I am 100% grateful for all of you guys, all of you guys in chat, all of you guys, that watch the VODs, watch the videos. And even if it's just for a little bit, you guys stopping in and saying hello, or, telling your friends, or just enjoying the stories as they unfold, and enjoying the stories that I've been able to tell outside of RCW, even if they have something to do with RCW, just enjoying the stories outside of it, have been fun, and it's great doing these shows for you guys, so I thank you all, and, expect a lot more content from me going forward. I mean, we got the new WWE 2K game coming out this year, because they took a year off after the debacle that was 2K20, and I think that was for the best. It gives them a chance to really do something with the game, because let's face it, a year of development is not a long time, and that is about as long as they get to do the WWE 2K games. And there had been a lot of things that, are obviously, there's a lot of things that I love about 2K19 and the WWE 2K series, but there's also a lot of things that could definitely be improved, especially in the universe mode aspect. The universe mode aspect, it's been a mode that has been, if they make another female My Career, they should just not include the male character and make him not a joke. Well, yeah. The thing is, with My Career, I was never a fan of the story-driven stuff. Because, simply because that, I'm kind of the person that likes to create my own story. And I feel like 2K16 was better at that, because you got to choose what title you went after. Granted, there wasn't a female My Career in there, but you got to choose what title you went after. You got to choose whether or not you wanted to be face or heel. Yeah, some of the promo stuff was generic and stuff like that, but you never really got to tell your own story, I kind of miss the old SmackDown games where in the Seasons mode, this was way before My Career, where it didn't matter whether you won or lost a match, the storyline would change accordingly. So let's say you lost a match. So be it. The story continued. There was no, you failed, you have to do this. There was no, you failed, you have to do this, this right, or you have to do this. And I feel like with AEW's game, with them including a campaign as part of their the development, I'm hoping it comes out as a season mode. Kind of like that, where you can kind of choose your story. I'm not saying like a carbon copy of My Career, but I'm saying like I want something where, you can kind of choose your story, tell your own story as a wrestler, because that's what makes, these games fun, is the creation suite, making your own wrestler, making your own character. That's what keeps these games alive. And if AEW, WWE, or all these other wrestling games can find a way to expand upon that, then that would be great. Because a lot of games, they use inspiration from other games. In Ukes, they've been making wrestling games for over 20 years. They made this one. Granted, it's not the best one, but they still made it into a decent game. But 2K is not going to be a part of this anymore. It's going to be AEW. There's going to be no publisher, so there's going to be nobody telling them what they can and can't do for the game. And with Kenny Omega being the gamer that he is, and loving No Mercy, loving WWF No Mercy, like, I have a lot of faith in this game. And I'm trying not to overhype it. But I feel like that's a good thing. When you get somebody that loves video games, that loves wrestling games, and you get somebody like Brian Williams, who's one of the head guys at Ukes, who loves wrestling and loves making wrestling games, and you give them creative freedom, this is what happens. It's the same thing with AEW with, you know, their characters and stuff like that. Not saying that AEW is the perfect wrestling company, but you give people creative freedom, and that creates good entertainment for a lot of people. Because if the wrestler loves what they're doing, and it doesn't look like, it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel generic, then chances are the fans are going to like it too. So what I'm hoping, at least for the AEW game, and I'll release a video, I'll be releasing a video that I have edited for you guys, that it kind of goes over some of the things that I hope is in the AEW game. And it kind of goes over the article that was on IGN about the AEW game, too, as well. And I kind of just talk about that, talk about some of the things that I would like to see in a game, some of the things that I would, you know, love to see in a wrestling game in general. I generally want to play Here Comes the Pain again. So, that's... Okay, guys, I think we lost each other for a second, because Twitch was being stupid. And I apologize for that. Are we back here? I think we're good. I think we are fine now. So, as I was saying, that's what I'm hoping AEW's game is. It's kind of like a hybrid between No Mercy and Here Comes the Pain. I'm kind of hoping that's what happens. Is that there is a hybrid between Here Comes the Pain and No Mercy. Because from what Kenny Omega said, the game is going to not be an arcade game, but it's also not going to be a simulation game either. So, and what I've said about this game, and feel free to disagree with me, feel free to call me an idiot or whatever, but I feel like as much as I love doing RCW, and as much as I love this, I feel overall the gameplay in 2K19 feels very, very slow and very, very sluggish. In terms of what the AI does, in terms of what a wrestling game should feel like. Like, to me, Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown vs. Raw was more of a wrestling game than this game was. And those, I don't believe those were full-on simulation. But it just felt different. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it's kind of like Yet we kind of meet each other in the middle a little bit. And if you can give me fun gameplay with a good creation suite, good online, a fun wrestling gaming experience that I can have with my friends, which I don't think is too much to ask, because I'm not asking for a lot of stuff, okay? Like, I'm not asking for GM mode, which is not going to be in the AEW game, by the way. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for this, like, I'm not asking for anything big. I'm just asking for the game to feel different, for the game to give a fun wrestling experience. Like, I don't care about the graphics. I don't care about how the game looks. If it's not a buggy mess and performs well and is fun, give it to me. Take my money. Because we've seen how this game, how 2K20 is. We've seen how 2K19 is in its AI. It's not great, but it's better than 2K20. But, I mean, let me just say, 2K20 is a bad example here, and I probably shouldn't be comparing. But, you know, if it's a game that functions well, that doesn't break, that doesn't shit the bed, that is a fun gaming experience as far as wrestling goes, where somebody who is not a huge wrestling fan, or that doesn't watch wrestling, can pick up the game and still have fun with it, I'm cool with it. Because as a content creator, I want everybody to have fun. I don't just want it to be like, me, whatever. I want people to have fun playing wrestling games again. I want somebody like my buddy Slev, who hasn't played wrestling games in a long time, to pick up a wrestling game and to have fun with me. Like, I want, you know, maybe my grandfather or my grandmother or one of my family members to pick up and play it with me without having to worry about, you know, what are the controls for this? What are the controls for this? Like, I want it to be easy to pick up and play, because let's face it, some of the stuff in this game is hard to do. Like, you have to figure out how to do this move, how to do this move. If they make it simple controls, like maybe one button, or 1 to 2 button combinations, or maybe 3 button combinations, I'm cool with that. Because in this game, you have to figure out all these different button combinations to just do some of the simplest of things. And, you know, yeah, I don't mind the RT reversal button. I don't mind that. But what I do mind is the fact that, from a competitive aspect, that, and I talk about this in the video, obviously. I go into a little bit more depth in the video about it, where when it comes to the reversal system, you either have unlimited reversals, which you can turn on and off. You have unlimited reversals, whether it's you turn it on or off. You have, but here's the thing. You can have 5 reversal slots in an online competitive setting. But to me, it's not competitive, because you want to know why? You can stomp cheese the hell out of your opponent and just make them use all those reversal slots until they can't reverse anymore, and then there you go, you're just gonna... So I could literally play my friend and just do the stomp cheese. What should happen is you should only be able to hit the stomp 2 to 3 times, and then your opponent automatically gets up. In both an online competitive setting and single player versus the CPU. Because to me, that's no fun. It's no fun having somebody that has 5 reversal slots that jacks up their custom superstar to overall 100 and makes them 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, and impossible to defeat when you have somebody who's a cruiserweight. Like, to me, in this type of game, in this day and age, that stuff shouldn't matter in an online competitive setting. In a simulation setting? In a CPU setting? Sure, go ahead. Sure, go ahead. But it's not fun to play online when you have somebody cheese the game. And yes, you're going to have people use in-game exploits. But something like that, where you just stomp the hell out of your opponent to just use all your reversal slots. Because I know people who do that, and it's annoying. That's why it's not fun to play online. And from what I heard in this article, there's going to be a new reversal system. So you're going to have to hit a certain button, but just because you hit that certain button doesn't necessarily mean that your superstar is going to counter it or not. So it doesn't guarantee a reversal. And I like that. Because you know what that means? That just means that it's just better. It creates more fun. Because think about it. If I know when somebody's gonna do a reversal, like, if I know that my friend has 4 reversal slots, and I'm trying to hit a finisher, don't you think that I don't know that he's gonna try and reverse it? Like, I want some unknown thing to happen. Because that's what makes online gameplay fun. Is crazy stuff that happens. And, you know, I want to be able to, you know, have special guest referee and screw over my friends. And from what I hear from Brian Williams, and definitely follow this guy on Twitter. Please do it. If you have a Twitter or any type of social media, follow this dude. Because this guy is a guy that literally pays attention to the fans. He cares about the wrestling community. He cares about this game. And he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that this game is good. Check out some of his interviews on YouTube. Because this guy, he's literally the saving grace for us. His special guest referee happens, they better have a shirt on, yeah. And you better have the ability to have female referees. That better happen. Because I'll be pissed if it's not. Because I seen Paige as a referee, and she put on that cute little top to be a referee. So I want that to happen. If that can happen in real life, that can happen in a freaking game. But, you know, I just thought I'd spend some time discuss with you guys about, you know, some of the content to look forward to, some of the, you know, stuff to look forward to. I go a little bit more in depth in that video, and I kind of talk about some of the things that I would like to see in the AEW game in that video, so keep an eye out for that. Mixed gender matches? Well, there's intergender matches in that game. Meaning men and women can wrestle each other, so I don't see why there wouldn't be mixed tag matches. Or mixed gender matches. It wouldn't make sense to have intergender matches in the AEW game and not have those. So, but anyways, I go a little bit more in depth in what I want in that game in the video. So definitely when that gets uploaded, please be sure to check that out if that tickles your fancy, and definitely leave a comment, and you know, let's have a good discussion about this, and I like having discussions kind of at the end of the stream to kind of talk about what's going on in the gaming universe, especially in the wrestling gaming universe. So I apologize for that disconnect there. Like I don't know, it's Twitch sometimes, but luckily I have the disconnection protection on, so it just disconnects itself for a bit, and then it comes back. So the game is supposed to be released later this year, hopefully. But I would either expect later 2021 or early 2022. And I'm hoping that it's a good game. I'm hoping that the Wrestling Code Virtual Basements Wrestling game is good. I'm hoping that 2K22 is good. I'm just grateful that we have options now, is what basically I'm saying. Because that means you're going to get a lot more than just RCW from me for streams. You're going to get online streams, meaning that I'm going to be screwing around with friends. You're going to get AEW game streams. I might stream the campaign mode, or might make a series of the campaign mode on it. You know, obviously you're going to get RCW, of course. But we'll have to see what options are available to us. But it's good that we know that we have options for games and for wrestling content going forward. So I thank all of you guys for having this little discussion with me. Again, I apologize for the disconnect there. It just happens sometimes with Twitch. You know, which is why I turned on the disconnection protection, so it just shows like a blank screen or a white screen for you guys for a few seconds while it tries to reconnect itself. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes that's the way we gotta do things. So I thank you guys so much for your continued support, and I hope you guys, you know, have a better year. We're all hoping that 2021 is a better year for all of us. And I will catch you guys on another stream, which should be, let's see, what's today? Wednesday? Aim for Friday. Aim for Friday around the same time, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, if you miss any of this, it's in my VODs, and it will be on my YouTube 24 hours after this airs. So feel free to check that out. And I'm just going to enter a few commands for you guys, just so that you guys are aware. There is my YouTube channel where you can check out all my YouTube content. Stupid sticky keys. There's my Discord in case you haven't joined it yet. That is the best place to reach me off stream. Let's see, what other commands do I have here that I can give you guys? Okay. There is also my merch store here, where you guys can buy some of the t-shirts, some of the exclusive t-shirts that you see some of the guys wearing in the game here. I'm working on tons of new designs, so you guys can buy those shirts. And those shirts, a small percentage of the money goes to me, and where that money goes, it goes right back into the stream. So you guys are directly supporting me and making the stream better by buying that merch. Plus, you get some badass t-shirts out of it. And there's also other stuff that are coming soon there, too, as well. So, feel free to check that out. It's a great Christmas gift, a great New Year's gift. All of them are about $15 is usually what I like to shoot for the t-shirts. I don't want to charge you guys way too much for you guys to get some merch. So, I try to keep that on the cheaper side, knowing that financials is a huge thing right now with the pandemic. So I try to keep it very low so that you guys can be able to buy some of that stuff. So if you want to, go ahead. If not, that's all good too. So I thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of RCW, and I will catch you guys soon.